It's time now for Real Estate Update. With Usha Chandra of GlobeNet Realty, real estate is our world.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this very special segment of weekly real estate update with Usha Chandra. Hope you are all high and dry and keeping well after the big wet season that we had. So with that, welcome to the show, Usha.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Umesh, and Australian Indian Radio.
Well, as I mentioned, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. So, could you just give us a little bit of an update about what's been happening? We know about the big wet that's taken place. So, how has that affected real estate?
Yes, it has affected really badly. I mean, we had continuous rain for the last 4 or 5 days. Flooding in Brisbane and surrounding areas, mostly in Queensland, on the southeast of Queensland. Devastating floods. I mean, we have experienced. That's the reason there was a lot of open houses were cancelled. And a lot of auctions were postponed as well. So we don't have that much update about real estate this week, because of our devastating floods in the southeast Queensland, especially in Brisbane.
Well, and quite rightfully said that, we saw Brisbane River swell to its peaks, and we saw lots of debris going down the river as well. A lot of pontoons gone by, and some of them together with their boats. Well, right now, so moving on, what's happening generally with the real estate? Of course, we know that the big talk was that there is no migration, students are not coming. So what's happening with that? So we know lately there have been some announcements made. How does that affect the market?
Yes, very good announcement, the return of overseas arrivals and Australia's property market. So let's have a quick look at the results there. From the January 21st, 2022, the Australian government opened the borders and welcomed double vaccinated tourists and visa holders from around the world. Eligible visa holders can come to Australia without a travel exemption or quarantining. And the concessions are being granted to skilled visa holders in order to incentivize them to stay in the country for longer periods. So that's extremely good results. The property market will increase as well. There will be a lot more buyers coming from overseas and spending money as well. I mean, obviously there will the visa holders who can buy the properties here. So we will be seeing a lot of growth in real estate.
Yes, there will be growth in real estate, and as we talk about when we talk about real estate, we know that the incentive that's been given by the government is the application fees and the visa fees are being waived or refunded. So that's one of the big incentives that the people are getting at this point in time. Well, let us move. So when you look at all these students and overseas arrivals, so what are happening to that?
Yes, the latest overseas back. Overseas arrivals totaling 195,760 through December, up to 34,000, which was in 2020 in December. And provisional estimates suggested the number was higher still in January. So large numbers of students and permanent residents and Australian citizens are coming back to Australia. So looking at all that, it will really appreciate in the property market. Obviously these people will be coming, they'll be looking for rental properties, or some of them will be permanent residents will be buying, and Australian citizens will be buying properties as well. So we'll be looking at a larger number of houses coming on the market and larger number of sales happening in the real estate industry as well.
And quite rightfully said, because when we look at the international arrivals, when people come here, they do need a place to live. So, that could be either a rental place, or those who are eligible to buy, they will buy into the properties as well. So, that's where the cycle begins. So people need properties to rent. The rental demand is high. Then investors come in the market and they say that, yep, now we will invest into those real estate market. So, of course, looking at the markets, engaging the market, we always go by the auction results. So, first of all, let's take a look at some of the numbers around the country on auctions.
Yes, auction market review. Let's have a quick look at Brisbane. 233 properties were taken to auction. In Sydney, 1,282 properties were taken to auction, and Canberra was 166 properties. Melbourne was 1,563 properties. Darwin was not applicable at all. And Perth was 16, and Tasmania was not applicable at all. So, and total, looking at the total of Adelaide was 212. So the results were a little bit down compared to other weeks of auction results in Brisbane. So 233 properties were taken to auction in Brisbane.
And that's quite a good number there. So we are behind Melbourne and Sydney, but ahead of Adelaide. So that's not bad. Adelaide 212. We just edged our way to 233. But 1,500 and 1,200 in Melbourne and Sydney. Of course, they always have high numbers there. Well, right now, moving on. So let's look at the clearance rates on all of those properties and see what's the results there.
Yeah, looking at Sydney market, the clearance rate was quite high. 71.8% was cleared sales under the hammer. Melbourne was 73.4%. Melbourne has gone up. Looking at Brisbane, 66.7%, which has gone quite down due to flooding, as I mentioned before. A lot of auctions were postponed, and a lot of open houses were cancelled on the weekend. So the result is 66.7%. Adelaide is 82.1%, quite high over there. Perth is 73.3%, quite reasonable amount of auctions sold under the hammer there. And Canberra 73.7%, gone down a little bit in Canberra from 84% to 73.7%. So averaging throughout the capital cities is 72.8%, which is still quite reasonable number. Apart from Brisbane's number was 66.7%.
But overall, when you look at 72.8 as an weighted average of the nation, that is quite good.
Yes.
Well, right now, we're going to look at some of your properties for this week. So, what are the properties that you'd like to talk about?
Yes, let's. Which is a development site. It's on 810 square meter block, and which way you can put 6 to 8 apartments in there in that property, or do 2 houses because it's already on 2 lots. So 810 square meter block, and there's it's an old Queenslander style home, 4 bedrooms plus 2 bathrooms. So it's currently rented for $540 per week. It's a great investment there if somebody wants to hold it as a land bank and develop later, or develop in the next 12 months. Ideal property, 200 meters from the station. So very, very good high demand area there, Rockley. And I've just found out there was no flooding there this time. I spoke to the owner this morning as well, and there's no flooding, so it's a good property. So that's one of the properties we are marketing at the moment. And then the second property we have got is in Tigum, which is at 6 Waterdown Close. It's a very good property. It's got refurbished, freshly painted with new timber floors. Good size lounge dining, air conditioned, very nice modern kitchen with a large gas stove, refurbished, and very good entertainment area. It's ideal location. It faces facing north. Across the road is the park as well. So it's got a lounge dining, then it's got a completely new bathroom in the property as well. It's got room for another bathroom, and so it's quite a nice property, close to all the amenities there, walking distance to the shops, the buses, the railway station, only 20 minutes walk from there. So ideal location, park across the road, elevated location, so no flooding there. So it's a exceptional property in Tigum, offers over 850.
So that's very wonderful, and what about open houses and auctions or sales?
Yes, we have got a couple of open houses coming this weekend, actually in Waterdown Close. We'll be doing that one at 10 o'clock to 10:30, and then we have got another open house at number 10 Patwell Street, which will be 11 to 11:30, and Rockley will be about 12 to 12:30. So we've got 3 open houses at the moment. We have booked those 3. Let's see what the weather does for the weekend, and then we'll keep you more updated with those properties. Auction, we had signed one auction, but the owner has temporarily withdrawn the property from the market due to the flooding in that area. So that there are the open houses. Rentals, we have got a couple of rentals coming on the market, and there's very high demand of rental properties as well, and lot of high demand for buyers waiting on our database for new properties to come on the market. So hopefully we'll be listing a few more properties this week and satisfy a couple of other buyers who are on our database. So that's the report from the sales and the rental section for this week.
And thank you very much for that update, Usha Chandra. And of course, as we know, today is Wednesday, and looking at the weekend, I'm glad that the open houses are being planned. But of course, to all the viewers out there, please always keep updated on the website and other things, and just in case the weather, should there be some notices, that you will be notified. But once again, thank you so much for being on the show and sharing all that very informative information and a very wonderful segment of Real Estate Update with Usha Chandra of GlobeNet Realty.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
GlobeNet Realty. GlobeNet Realty has been the longest established, trusted and respected agency in its trade area. Usha Chandra, Director of GlobeNet Realty, provides honest and ethical service to her customers. If you are thinking of investing in Brisbane real estate market, or if you are seeking professional property management, then you should contact Usha Chandra today on landline 3865 4466 or mobile 0419 775 416. And for further updates, log on to our website www.globenetralty.com.au. GlobeNet Realty is your own local real estate agency. Situated at Shop 52281 Sandgate Road, Boondall. GlobeNet Realty. Real estate is our world.